Hi guys, welcome to a scenario where Africa unites. So every single country in Africa is under one union. The countries are all together. There's no country left. So yeah. So let's get to this scenario. So since this is a war scenario, Africa will first attack Israel. So Africa will fully enter Israel, and this is a very fast win for Africa because Africa is a very Africa, if it's united, would be strong, like very strong. So, but I think Palestine would also join. So the next nation that Africa will attack is Jordan. So they'll start moving into Jordan. Since Africa is like a continental union, I think Africa would beat the United States and Europe in GDP, even if all of Africa united. So this is now the new African borders. So another country that Africa will attack is Spain. I think this is a suggestion from Morocco in the African Union to get back on all the European nations. So the African naval troops will move into the tip that borders Spain. And I know there's some exclaves of Spain somewhere here, but those are already part of the African Union. So Spain will go in. And I know Madrid is somewhere here, so they're going for Madrid. And they fully take over Madrid. And so here I'll do the peace treaty of. I think the African Union would get this much land of Spain. Even this small island, they're also part of the African Union. So their next target
5, 6, 7, 8.
And by now I think Lebanon is already part of the Union. The African Union invaded them and made them part of them, most likely. So next they will go for this nation. Saudi Arabia. They'll go for Saudi Arabia. And they're doing this to get a hold of Mecca. The Muslims regeneration. I don't know much about Islam because I'm a Christian, so I follow Jesus Christ. But the African Union's troops will start moving in and getting very far in their war. So this is but Saudi Arabia is a strong nation, so most likely they'll push back somewhere like here and try to push this area back. But the African Union has 1.4 billion. Africa in a whole has 1.4 billion people under their belt. So I don't know about the population of this southern part of Spain and this area right here. If you know that, please comment so they will start going more and fully cutting it off from the northern. So they'll start doing a strategy to cut them off from the coast to stop trade.
Why not?
But this would be a bad idea because most likely the United States will join. But this is the USA would not join, would join if this happened in real life, but because they get oil from Saudi Arabia. I feel like most of their oil comes from Saudi Arabia, and fully most likely now they're gonna propose a peace treaty. I'll be back when I'm done with the peace treaty. This is the area that the African Union will take from Saudi Arabia, and now everybody ends up seeing that this is not just a union to make Africa better. They see that Africa is going for the expansionist route. So Spain, France. Oh, this is not part of France. This is part of France. And Italy will create a coalition to fight against the African empire, which I should call it now, since it's most likely the African Union. But Africa now go for the Portuguese. Oh, sorry. So African troops will start moving in from this side of Portugal. And I know Angola and Mozambique speak Portuguese. So the African Union will most likely get the capital very fast and fully capitulate the Portuguese. So peace treaty time. So this is the new border of this, and Portugal will end up joining this coalition. So now Africa cannot go into Europe. So I think most likely they'll focus more on now the Middle East. But before that, more nations will join this. The UK. I don't know why the UK joins this. Ireland doesn't join this. Ireland actually, because the UK is in this, Ireland joins this as an ally of this nation right here. And Saudi Arabia is officially now a puppet state of the African Union. So yeah, those are the two allies of the African Union. But going back to war because we love war. Not in the real world. In these scenarios, we love war. So the next nation that the African Union will be attacking is Syria. And another nation that will join this war is Turkey to fight against Syria. So yeah. The first troops that enter is the Turkish troops. The Turkish troops enter from the north and fully capture this area right here. And the African troops go in from the south. The Turkish troops getting so much. Syria would not win this war, even if. I think they would do well against Turkey alone, but I don't think they would be able to. And this is the occupation zones of Turkey and Syria. Peace treaty time. The African Union ends up getting this. So the African Union ends up getting this area and this area of Syria, and Turkey gets this northern area. And Turkey is now officially an ally of the. So carrying on with this, the African Union will declare war on Iraq. So the Iraqi the African Union's army starts moving in from the Syrian border and the southern border. The Turkish army also enters. The Turkish army also enters. And this is a fast war. The African Union already ends up capturing the southern parts, and the Turkish end up getting this area. So that's the occupation zones. Oh, sorry, mistake. So I'll be back when I'm done with the peace treaty. So these are now the occupation zones, but the African Union ends up saying to Kuwait, join us or we'll wage war on you. But Kuwait doesn't want to suffer a war, so they choose the better option of joining. So now this is the African Union. And since the video is now a little bit too long, sorry the African Union doesn't fight the coalition. The video is getting a little bit too long, so that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.